Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk, a discussion about all things automotive. I'm Cory.
And I'm Matt, and each week this podcast will serve as a catalyst for discussion on all sorts of topics that grind our gears, rev our engines, or just need a bit more conversation.
And on this week's episode, we've got some special guests.
We do indeed. We get to sit down and discuss all things automotive and all things Herbalife with Jess and Deb from Goal Life Nutrition in Troup, Texas.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know there are some interesting stories that are going to come out along the way, so we'll just dive right into this one.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Deborah and I have a little bit of history.
Just a little bit.
We go back a few years and a kid, but...
You may need to elaborate more on that one.
Okay. So, do I actually, we can elaborate a little bit on that, or...
That's up to you.
We'll
two of the best stories are wrapped up in that.
That's true, yeah, that's true. Deborah and I were married way back, like 10 years ago,
Lifetime
12
ago.
years ago, 15
You're making
years
us sound
ago.
so old, gosh.
Well, it's not that we're that old, it's that we were
that young.
No, Deborah and I got married. We actually got engaged on the beach in Galveston, and it was on my family's vacation. She had come down with us, and I had actually driven my first car, my 1971 Volkswagen Super Beetle, to the beach. And
Tallulah.
drove it on the beach that week, and asked her to marry me that week.
And then he tried to kill me.
And then I totaled the car that week also. So...
What? So he shared a little bit about this story from his perspective.
Yeah.
Let's get your perspective on it, Deb.
I think we lived it pretty similarly. We were returning from vacation, and we were coming down the interstate, and an SUV pulled out in front of us. And Matt did what he could do to avert that situation, and in the process, we ended up taking a tumble about, I think it was 3 turns, wasn't it?
Yep. 3
times. And, that's how we kicked off our married life.
Well, the married life kicked off with our honeymoon trip to the mountains in New Mexico.
Again,
Yeah.
He tried to kill me. So
I'm
eventually,
sensing a
I
problem.
got the hint.
Until death do us part.
That's right.
It was coming faster than I anticipated.
Oh, gosh. I don't think I was ready for this episode.
Oh, my goodness.
Repressed feelings.
Not at all. Just real truth.
Our honeymoon, we went to New Mexico, up Taos, Angel Fire area. And the day that it snowed, we decided to take my dad's 2-wheel drive, short wheelbase, single cab pickup.
Back then, those
Yeah.
words meant nothing to me. And now that I am educated,
Right?
that was dumb.
Yeah, it was not brilliant on our part, but we decided to go over the mountain to.
And we also ended up going through the woods.
It was.
Do we own the rights to that song?
So we were making our way over the mountain pass. It had started to snow, and I told Deborah, I said, when you stop seeing the tire tracks in the rearview mirror, let me know, because it was snowing.
I have
but it was-
no recollection of that.
They fell out of your head on the way down the mountain.
What ended up happening was, about the time she told me, I don't think I can see the tire tracks anymore, the truck went sideways, and we went off the side of the mountain about 25 feet, and totaled my dad's
My
truck.
most vivid memory of that incident, one of them, they're all very vivid, but the most vivid one is as we were tumbling, I literally screamed, "Not again." We were fine. Like, this one was way less dramatic than the first one. It was one complete turn over, I think.
Yeah.
And it was nice and squishy instead of like pavement at 70 miles an hour. And so I was more just irritated that it happened again.
Yeah. Probably irritated at me too that I was the reason it happened again.
Squishy.
So
I'll leave that alone. Squishy. The ground was squishy.
And who was it that told you it will never happen again.
Yeah, after the first incident, I had some anxiety after that, and multiple people were like, "That never happens to anyone 2 times in their life." And why I believe them, I have no idea. But you know what? Stuck it to you.
Do you want to
Pretty
go
much.
for 3?
No,
3rd time's a charm. I don't know what that means.
I'm
in
still
this.
paying the therapy bill for the first 2.
Yeah. So, within a couple of weeks of our son Grant being born,
They did it again.
it wasn't quite that bad. I had a 74 bug at the time because Tallulah was totaled. I had a 74 bug at the time, and Oklahoma City experienced an ice storm, which is not uncommon. And we needed groceries, and we lived. I promise you, it wasn't a mile from the grocery store.
Hold on. I think Deb needs to gather herself.
You know what? This might be the best one.
So, 8.5, 9 months pregnant, Deb and I load up.
No. He had
we
just been
bundle
born.
up. Oh, he was just born.
We had
Okay,
just
so-
gotten home from the hospital when the
That's right.
blizzard hit. He was at home with my mom.
That's right. Okay, so yeah.
Everyone thought I needed to leave the house.
Well,
They were wrong. I very much needed to stay home. And I proved that to him.
These
Yeah.
people obviously have forgotten your history with automotive mishaps.
so yeah, no. Volkswagens are not known for their heat. So she and I bundled up very well. We got in the bug. She very reluctantly got in the passenger seat, and we moseyed our
I
way.
just feel like we need to recap here. We are combining 2 car accidents.
Right.
The Volkswagen from the first one and the snow from the second one. This was a very dumb idea.
Yeah, not smart on my part.
There is a pattern here that needs to be
I
addressed.
honestly hadn't made that connection until just now. I'm irritated.
Oh my goodness! After all this time. So we make it to the grocery store. I could see Deborah's white knuckles through her gloves, holding on to whatever she could hold on to in the car, and the whole time we're in the store buying groceries and things that we need. I'm trying to convince her to get back in the car and not walk the mile home in the snow and ice in the 20-degree weather in Oklahoma where the wind always blows. And
I know we don't own the rights to that song.
well, yeah, no, we don't. I did not convince her to get in the car to ride back to the house. So at 1.5 miles, 2 miles an hour, the whole way home, the back way through the neighborhood, I followed Deborah home as she walked home, and all of our neighbors stared at us, I'm sure, thinking,
What kind of
that
fight did
guy's
they
a
do?
jerk.
have
He's
had
in
it.
the warm car, out of the and she's pregnant. It was horrible. It was her choice.
Warm car.
Just,
It was
I want to
very-
say this
it
on the
was-
record.
No, it was completely my choice. He begged and pleaded and probably tried to stuff me in there. But there was no way that was happening whatsoever. The fact we made it there without me jumping from the vehicle was
Basically,
a miracle.
yeah.
And I walked the whole way. I called my mom from about 3 blocks out, and I said, I need you to put a blanket in the dryer. And she's like, why? I said, because I'm very cold.
Yeah.
Stubborn.
Did you tell your mom that you refused to get back in the car, or does she still believe to this day that?
No, because she knew that I still struggled in snowy conditions. Actually, until I still struggle in snowy conditions. I almost
Okay.
quit a job because I wouldn't get in the car to go to work one day.
I call it stubborn.
Stubborn? Well, you know. So yeah, Deborah and I have a little bit of a history.
Yeah.
Dates back a few years.
Just
Just
a
a
few.
few.
A little overlapping stories there.
And very, very many cars.
Very many cars.
Very many
yeah.
cars.
Yeah. And Jess, I want to give you an opportunity also to share some of your car history and
Jess and I have car history too.
You guys have-
almost as much as you and I do.
I taught her everything she knows.
In the good
good.
and the bad.
So she knows how to drive a standard because I trained her.
It's true. What,
See?
what
Told
was
you.
the
The 88 Toyota 4Runner.
88 Toyota 4Runner. The roof came off, and
It
so
was
we
fun.
were super cool.
Yeah.
Had the roll bar.
Oh, yeah.
Every vehicle should have
You
roll
know,
bars.
I
Yes.
still want another one. I enjoyed it that much.
Oh yeah, definitely.
An old one. The new
Yeah.
one would be nice.
Well, I'm glad you took on the responsibility of teaching her how to drive a stick because it did not work when I attempted it.
I'm not teaching my 14-year-old. My husband is. He said she's pretty good. I'm like, I wouldn't.
Wouldn't know. Don't care.
My parents wouldn't let me have a driver's license until I learned how to drive a standard. So,
Yep.
I mean, she's going to have the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I learned to drive stick before I ever got a driver's license too. So I think it's a rite of passage that is quickly going away.
Agreed.
In modern
I
society.
kind of feel like we need to elaborate just a little bit, though, because I can drive a stick in a pinch. I do take off best in third gear.
We don't need that clutch.
It is a little bit of a bumpy ride.
Speaking of a standard, like when you first started learning to drive one, what was the scariest part?
The scariest part for me.
Yeah.
Starting on a hill,
Yeah.
I mean, when you have somebody behind you, like,
creeping up on you. It's like,
are they coming forward or am I going back?
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm pretty sure I freaked somebody out today sitting at the stoplight because rolled up to 346 on 110, headed back to work from lunch, and I had the clutch in, rolled up, and the car, momentum stopped, so the car stopped, and then I just started rolling backwards. I probably rolled 15, 20 feet backwards. There wasn't anybody behind me, but I know the guy next to me was going, what in the world is this guy doing?
Does he know he's rolling?
I like messing with people that, I mean, nobody knows nowadays that
Yeah.
manuals roll backwards, and so I'll mess with people and I'll do the roll back and go forward and roll back and go forward and roll back and yeah.
I
much
see
fun.
that ending very poorly for me.
Do you remember the day in the Ranger on Broadway in Academy?
The
guy that
gasoline
told the story.
incident? Okay, so Jess and I went to pick up a load of firewood. We have so many stories.
First of all, Cody's little Ranger, which was mine, he has a bedline. I'm sure everybody in Tyler have seen it. This little truck is beat to death. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just the whatever vehicle.
Right.
It has a gas leak, or it did. It was really bad, like
Like,
really bad.
we stopped at a stoplight. We were loaded down with firewood, and we stopped at the stoplight. And we know that there's a gas leak, and so we're trying to get there and get back very quickly. And this guy stops us, and he's like, "Are you aware that you have a gas leak?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like,
It's really,
it's
really
really bad. And we're like, "Yes, stop
Yeah,
talking.
we know."
We gotta go."
We only have enough to get where we're going and get back. Loaded down with firewood like this, and it's running gas. I'm like, this is a bonfire waiting to happen. Right?
Should have packed the marshmallows.
Oh man, that's too good. Well, so there's a couple of reasons we wanted to have you guys on. One was because we know that both of you have some incredible automotive
We're
stories,
very entertaining.
which we have already partially heard some about, but also because of Goal Life and the new beginnings that is Goal Life Nutrition here.
This episode is brought to you by Goal Life Nutrition.
It's Troup, Texas.
Troup, Texas. Yeah, right here, downtown Troup, Texas, right across from Milano's Pizza, which we should
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. No.
But is sponsored sometimes. It's important that the locals support the locals.
Absolutely. Well, and that's a part of the point of having you guys on too. Was in the midst of trying to grow a small business, we're trying to grow a small business. We want to support each other and share some listeners, share some patrons, and so we're excited to have you on. Tell us a little bit about the business and how long you've been open and all that good stuff.
So we opened officially October 22nd. So we are almost at our 1 month anniversary. Woo-hoo. And we started, it took us about 113 days to actually get the building ready and get all the permits and the paperwork and everything that had to go. And then on the 114th day, we got to flip on the, hey, these things are important.
That's why you're talking.
You didn't know this. So we got to open, and we are almost a month strong. And Jess and I kind of just dove off into this. We both needed some flexibility in our lives. And, I jumped in.
She jumped in and was holding
Just
Jess, we really got to do this. Okay, let's do it.
So we did, and literally poured blood, sweat, and tears. Most of the tears, though, those were actually from laughing more than anything.
She was crying. She got tired of painting.
That's what it was.
I will never paint another thing as long as I live.
I don't blame
But we had a great time doing it. We had a lot of help along the way, just mentoring us through the process. But the outpouring that Troup has shown and our friends and family around Troup has been pretty incredible. And we're super excited. It's a tough time to be starting out, but we have been nothing but blessed through the whole process, and we're super hopeful for what 2021 will bring for us and the community, and so we're stoked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a big jump from what we have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what do you serve at Goal Life? For those who don't know, for those who are new to what Goal Life might be, or Rose City Nutrition, who you guys are affiliated with, what is Goal Life and what do you serve?
So all of our products are Herbalife products, and we serve meal replacement shakes. It's all high protein, super good for you, lots of energy, loaded
sugar.
energy teas, no sugar,
Yeah.
like super
Stevia.
super good on all the frames there. Loaded energy teas, we can hype you up and pump you up and get you ready for whatever waits. So those are probably our two biggest things. We have add-ins, we have supplements, all kinds of things for whatever your needs might be. So we are.
And it's delicious.
It is. Who knew
wonderful.
being healthy could be so
I
good?
try to tell everybody that comes in the door, I'm like the queen of protein powders. I've had them all. I can tell you firsthand, these taste way better.
Absolutely.
They are way better for you.
Absolutely. That's awesome.
You know, not just because we're knee deep in it either. Like,
I mean, no.
So there you have it. If you are coming through Troup or headed this way to check out the East Texas area, make a stop in downtown Troup, Texas at Goal Life Nutrition.
and make sure that you let us know that you heard about us on Garage Talk, and we will take extra good care of you.
Ooh.
Shout out.
Sponsored by Garage Talk.
I love the teas. I've been down here several times since you guys have opened, and when you were bringing the teas in from Rose City also, I would come down and get a tea every once in a while. And they are wonderful. And you guys have actually named a tea after Garage Talk called the Gearhead. Tell us what's in this one, because I can't remember it all. And tell us a little bit about it and how the name came about also.
Yeah, so the Gearhead has our protein beverage mix in there, so it kind of transitions it from a tea to kind of like a snack beverage.
Yeah.
Kind of helps take care of the munchies. It also has liftoff in it, which is like the best part of anything you'll
what?
get here. It's called liftoff. It'll kick in, you'll know.
Is that why I can't sit still right now?
Yeah, that's it.
Are you seeing things yet?
I can smell colors.
It's working. So it also has the tea concentrate in it, which is a thermogenic, and it has NRG, which is kind of just helps to clarify your thoughts there.
I need more of that.
Mental focus.
Mental focus. I think that's it in that one.
And then the aloe. There's
yeah,
aloe
it has
for
aloe
nutrient
for
absorption.
Yep.
Awesome.
And then our flavors. So, yeah.
It's a wonderful citrusy, like wake you up kind of a flavor too. I love it. It's really good. Come get you a Gearhead tea down here at Goal Life Nutrition in Troup, Texas. So let's get back to some of the cars
Yes.
because we
Y'all
want to
promised
some
a
more.
lot of good content.
We
so.
did, yeah. So
We will fulfill that promise.
whichever of you want to jump in here, give us a little rundown of your car history.
Or
maybe-
future car history.
future car history, some notable vehicles in your past.
I have one that's in my past that is in my present and will continue to be in my future.
Yeah,
It's a 1976 Bronco.
nice.
A 302. So I have a picture of me sitting in it at the age of 3. And we
Awesome.
hope that when we get to finish it, that I can have a reenactment photo.
Very
so
cool.
that'll be nice. It's white with the sea green, so it's really needs a lot of love.
You'll have
it's been
to,
sitting for a minute.
You'll have to park yours next to Brandon's when he
When he
gets
gets
the
his
new
new one?
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if we can get a hold of that picture too, and
I have it.
Be sure it's on the
Yes.
on the
show
socials.
notes.
Oh, my husband
Yeah.
made sure he made a copy.
Oh, good, very good.
So we're anxious to get that one rolling. But Go Life has been the baby right now.
Sure,
So.
yeah. Well, once it's running and driving, you need to bring it to
Bring it down to Go
out
Go
here.
Life Garage Talk.
Yeah, bring it by. We'll take a look at it and maybe
We'll do
make
a
their
full interview or
Yeah.
a full review of it
absolutely
for the YouTubes.
for the YouTubes. What else? What other notable vehicles do y'all? I know of a couple of Deborah's.
I
so-
mean, my first car was a 1998 Ford Mustang. There
Bless
was
its heart.
nothing special about it other than the fact it was my first vehicle. My brothers both owned it prior to my owning it, so there wasn't much of it left. But they did pass it on to me, and it was very near and dear to my heart. I did fall in love with Mustangs because of it, and I will own another one. Apparently later rather than sooner at this point in my life. But
Lance, you're listening, right? She wants a Mustang.
Oh yeah.
Christmas is coming up.
Yeah. They don't actually make like Mustangs with crew cabs, and I now have a crew, so
Well, okay.
that's not gonna work. But it was a good car, and it just
It wasn't at the end.
you know what? It did its best, and I replaced the air conditioner 4 times. And a friend of ours replaced the radiator in the Walmart parking lot once. And it went through a few other things, and eventually it became a money pit, and it was not safe to be traveling in. And I had
Found on road dead. I believe.
yeah.
Easy.
In this situation,
Fixed or repaired daily.
Yes.
we got rid of it before we were found on the road.
Okay.
But I do to this day regret selling it. For the money that I got for it, I should have just parked it and waited until I was able to redo it. That's probably my biggest regret. But I did need something more dependable, which led into my next vehicle, which was a 2010 Ford Escape, which was a huge jump for me. I was officially an SUV mom. There
Yep.
was room for the kid in the car seat. Grant lived back there. We traveled a lot, and
Him and his goldfish.
And his goldfish.
his goldfish are still living back there. I don't even know who owns it now. But I actually kind of regretted trading that one in. It hasn't been in quite a year yet. Or it was a year
She
in
rolled
October.
into the dealership for trade.
They took the trade-in sight unseen, and the joke was on them.
Oh.
Yeah, I was really actually hoping to be able to put that one in Garage Talk's car show.
Yeah.
Most notably for the
The waterworks or just the sound?
neither one.
Uh-oh.
Definitely the ground beef incident.
That was so gross. I could not ride in that car.
So not only when it rained, the car leaked.
No. It had a waterfall. She had a water feature in her car.
I could be driving to work, and I would have to go home and change clothes
Oh my goodness.
because it poured rain from the ceiling.
Her nephew got in and what did he say? Like you needed an umbrella in the car.
But then it was August, and I had actually bought 5 pounds of ground beef from that cow that you guys had gotten
Oh,
part
yeah.
of. You remember that?
Yeah.
Only
From that cow. You know, that one.
That one.
Matt and Emily had gotten a bunch of meat from a guy at work, and so I bought some of it from them, and only 4 pounds made it to the freezer because that 1 pound rolled under the seat where it's been 2 days in the August, Texas heat.
Sure wasn't
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that when the guy got in it, when I dropped it off at the delership a year ago to trade it in on our truck,
She opened the door and one last sniff.
he turned green.
Ground
Took
beef
so
aside.
long.
Ground beef aside, I'm starting to wonder why you have this allegiance to Ford because they aren't
Well-
great stories.
How many
her
how many
family
miles
does.
were on that rig when you traded it in?
212,000.
See?
It did its job though, and honestly, it never gave me. Why are
That
you looking at me
face,
like that?
that face.
200.
I think it was more than that.
You're
There
right.
were
It
way
was,
more
it
miles
was
on
like
that car.
230,000.
Yeah, that's more like it.
It stopped living well at 212 though.
Well,
But it never. I will say though, the Mustang never left me on the road.
For long.
Because of gas, correct?
I mean, you can't blame the gas situation on the vehicle, though. The Escape left me on the road a few times, but that was purely gas related.
So
What-
we wait till the car gets on E and we have clocked that there's 30 more miles left in the tank before
That's a
it
number
really
you
stops.
should never know.
You
should never know that number.
Right. It is 22.
Okay,
Oh,
so she
see?
forgot to calculate miles that she had driven before she got stuck on the side of the road one day. She goes, "Oh, I forgot I took off on it the other day."
I did forget.
That girl makes sure she gets use out of that whole tank.
I
Right.
did find myself Googling how many miles you could go in an F-150 past the zero the other day. I
Yeah.
watched an 8-minute YouTube video. Supposedly it's 45. I feel like that's a little risky.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
we'll
I was
see.
on the phone with her.
Might be a little risky.
She's like, "I'm
Yeah.
just not really sure if I'm gonna make it."
Well, I vaguely remember. I guess it's been over a year ago now since you had that. Receiving a phone call about 9 or 9:30 at night, asking if I had any gas in a gas can that I could bring her because.
I think you were on the phone with
We were
Grant when it
actually-
died.
No,
That-
we were on the phone.
Yeah.
That's
because
right.
Grant goes, "What's happening? What's happening?" I guess he'd never been with me. I'm like, "Buddy, you should know exactly what this is all about."
Mom passed the
And he
last
was
3
like,
gas stations.
the poor boy was almost in tears because I just like do what I always do: pull over on the side of the road, call whoever you're closest to, and unless it's my husband, I'll never make that call.
Well, yeah.
So Grant was on the phone and he's like, Dad, we're out of gas. I was like, "Where are you?" I said, "Well, we're actually almost to your house."
Sad thing is my husband gives her a hard time about the gas too.
yeah.
Well, that's
Oh, yeah.
because about 3 weeks ago, your husband had to pull me off this, so I didn't stop for gas.
Right.
And when you park on a hill, it just disappears. I don't know where it goes, but there's like this gas ferry that comes and sucks it from your tank. And so while you had 32 miles to E, you park on the hill and you no longer have that anymore. No grace whatsoever.
So when she parks in the back aisle, I assume she has no gas in the
I will demonstrate with the last of my gearhead here. See how little
Deb's
there
gas
is
tank.
at the
Right,
bottom of
right.
the cup? When you park on a hill, this happens. And the straw can no longer drink it.
Well, perhaps gas tanks should have longer straws.
I agree.
Just curled up in the bottom down there.
We
Exactly.
actually had a conversation about that.
What?
Colton and I says the gas tanks need to have like
A
come
funnel.
down like this
Yes!
at the very end
That's
to drop the
genius.
last drag. So when you do run out of gas on the highway, you're done.
I need
There's
one of
no-
those.
There's no game to it.
So I have to park out back, but I have to back in because there's also an incline out there. So you got to get it going the right way. Cody had to pull me out.
Deb parks back there and she'll be like, "I gotta take your Jeep," and I'm like, "Why are you out of gas?"
I got one chance at starting it.
Yeah. My motorcycle never had a gas gauge. You would turn the gas on.
Wait, what?
And ride it until you ran out, and then turn it to the reserve, and you knew you had enough to go from where you were
See,
to the
that's
gas station.
basically what
That's
I'm
it.
doing is turning it to the reserve.
Right, except
when
if
you
you
get to the
leave it
zero.
on reserve the whole time and you run out, you're completely out, and you
Right.
don't have any left over.
Yeah, I've
so.
experienced that.
Deb needs a switch in her vehicle. Like, okay, I'm out of gas. I
I need one that says,
She needs your old Ford truck with the 2 tanks.
Yes.
that's
yeah.
yeah, I need the reserve. And then
Yeah.
I need the reserve for when the reserve's out.
I may have.
She needs a solar panel on this.
So I listened to the episode where you guys were talking about electric cars.
Yeah.
And that got the gears a grinding, and I was like, that'll never work for me because I won't charge it, and I will just be on the side of the road all the time because I won't have time to wait for it to charge. So I'm gonna have to vote no on that. That's not gonna work out
See,
for me.
Or you could just get a 50-foot extension cord and plug it in over here by the door, and when you park out front, just run the extension cord out and plug your car in.
I mean, you do charge your phone at work.
See?
Charge your phone, charge your car.
I feel like though when I forget to charge my phone, it's a non-issue. But I feel like forgetting to charge my car
It's
might
kind of a-
become an issue.
Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
So when you call me and you need me to PayPal you some gas money, I'm gonna be like, "Can I help you there?"
That also happened one day. I left on a trip without my wallet,
hate it when that happens.
but that's okay. Jess has always got my back. Always. Yep. But Jess and I have some pretty good car history together.
Yeah.
Surprised your parents were gonna let you ride with
If they only knew. If they only knew. Jess and I have very different driving styles.
First, we started on four-wheelers.
We did start on four-wheelers.
We were
in
too young to
alternative.
drive.
We
Yeah.
were.
We've been friends for 20 years.
Wow.
We're old.
No, you're old. She's my older friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A much wiser friend.
Much older. So Jess actually got her driver's license first, and she did start driving the 4Runner. And my parents did let me ride with her. I don't know why. I thought they loved me, but I kind of question that now. But they might have been trying to get rid of me. So
Mustang.
I saw that, and I heard that.
Heard it.
Heard it. But Jess started driving the 4Runner, so we would go places together. And I remember this one day, we had gone to get her brother from school, and we were going up this big hill. And I didn't have my license yet, but I knew enough that the double yellow lines, you weren't actually supposed to leave your lane. And we were going up a hill, and I said, Jess, you're not supposed to pass anyone right now. And she goes, it'll be okay. And I was like, okay. And so it was okay. It wasn't really okay at the moment, but we survived it. And so a few years ago, we were in Dallas, and
This has happened twice. I know what you're
we
doing.
were on the far right-hand lane, and we needed to be in the far left-hand lane. And 4 lanes of Dallas traffic separated us from where we needed to be.
Yeah.
And and Jess is increasing in speed, and I see our exit approaching, and then I see my life flash before my eyes, and then in that moment I'm deciding, am I gonna die in the car or am I gonna die jumping from the car?
Right.
No, nothing is being said in this time.
Not a word has been said between the two of us. I know what's coming though, because
Our
I
brains are
lived it
connected.
when I was 14 years old, and Jess goes, do you trust me? And I held on to
I didn't say anything. You just went, I trust you, I trust you.
I held onto my seat with both hands, and I shut my eyes, and I said, I trust you.
Well, at least you had the courtesy to ask.
I think I asked the first time because that was actually the second time. First time was
Because
in Shreveport.
Riding with your brother, going up to see you in Oklahoma City, he didn't ask.
No.
I'm pretty sure he was half asleep, though, because it was night. And Andy,
Yep.
you about killed me that night.
And Andy asked one time, we were coming home from a ball game.
There's the
and
gas leaker.
Oh, okay.
No, that's my tow truck.
That is the one that comes to the rescue.
It's a Ford. Just want
Yeah,
to throw that
it's
in
true.
there. It is a Ford.
And the
This
other
is
one is a
true.
Ford.
See?
But now
Yeah.
we got the Chevrolet.
But the one that was out of gas was also the Ford.
I rest my case.
But that's not the Ford's fault. The Ford has never been bad to me. It never has. It has.
It's not out of gas, is it? Because I don't know if I can pull that thing. Reggie's a little heavy.
I filled up on the way over here. Because that
Can we
light
take
came
note
on.
that she just said she filled the tank up before she got there?
It's
The-
recorded now. This day in history.
The gas light came on, and in that one, it doesn't have the digital. You have this many miles because I'm a loaner because there was actually a recent accident with my Ford, and rest the dear soul, and it's having the hair removed from the coolant system, but. So it doesn't have the digital thing. So I called Jess. I'm like, how far can you go when the light comes on? And she's like, I don't know. I said, oh, that's
It
kind
ain't
of
far.
risky.
That's kind of risky.
See,
I don't trust that truck and its gas light at all.
in my car, my Chevy, when it gets down and the light comes on, it just says low miles.
Yeah.
It doesn't tell you how many because
Right.
they don't want the liability of saying, well, it says 40, but here I am stranded on the side of the road. So
It's interesting that you say that because my Jeep does that. It'll be like you have 35 miles still empty. You look back at it and it says nothing.
Low.
And you're
Zero.
Like, it has bars. It's
Yeah.
like nothing. Don't trust me. Get to the gas station.
I drove my sister's car for a little while, and
You realize nobody's ever going to loan you another
never,
vehicle after this
never.
episode comes
Which
out,
is,
right?
it's fine. I get it. I
If you
get
hit
it.
anything in that truck,
I'll be all right.
it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
It'll be all right. I should have been driving that when the deer thing happened. Probably could have kept the deer.
you will have to elaborate on the deer
The
situation.
deer
Yeah.
situation. But I was driving my sister's car, and gas thing. it did that thing where the bars come across. I had like 60 miles and I only had 30 more to go. And I'm like, my math skills are not great, but I can do gas math and that is not adding up.
Wait a
And
minute.
so I filled it up just a little bit so that I could test this theory. And so I let it get back down. And at 30 miles till E, the bars happen. And I was like, this is why I have trust issues. Right here. This is it right here.
All right, so elaborate a little bit on the deer story so that people don't think you ran a human over and you're picking the hair out of the grill.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen.
No.
Probably wouldn't be sitting here. Well, not that we'd be talking about it. But I live in Nacogdoches and I drive to Troup to work every day. And it's a long 37-mile haul down Highway 204. And it is dark and hilly. And it was about 5:20 in the morning, which is, it's not my greatest hour. It's just not. And
I don't think that's anyone's greatest hour, but that's just
no, I hadn't had my tea yet.
See?
And so I was still partially asleep.
There is
and
no service on that road.
There's
either.
no service, but there was a deer. I topped the hill and it was in the road and I screamed for it to move and it did not listen to me. And so I was doing 70 miles an hour and plowed straight into him. And, well, I'll keep it. I'll save the graphics, but it was messy. And there was a lot of fur on the truck and it definitely took out the grill. And a lot of intercooler parts and some various pumps and some damage to the underneath because I sucked it under and so
Fancy
go big or go home, right?
go big or go home and I went big and I went home and it didn't and so thankfully I was okay and it went down and not up and it didn't make it though. I stopped on my way home that day and paid my respects and bless its heart.
It's splattered hard.
It did. But I did finally understand after 32 years of hearing a deer in headlights look. I know exactly what that look looks like because
the
it
deer.
looked exact and we look the same. I know he goes, so that's what they look like right before they kill us.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was like, that was it right there.
Yeah.
It was this unspoken moment of, oh.
Right. Humans think that we say a deer in the headlights look is for the deer.
It's a human in the headlight.
Right, yeah. Deer think it's, the deer in the headlights look is the humans, yeah.
Yep.
Well, I do think I have a perfect image for promoting this episode on social now, so thanks.
Oh, no.
I mean, I can send you the image of my grill.
That too.
Oh, my goodness. Well, before we end off, we want to, this is one of my favorite little segments that
It's
we
your
do.
baby.
It is. It's a segment called Random Misfire, and it's 8 questions
Why is that, Matt?
because all engines should have 8 cylinders.
I make him say it now because he
Yeah,
got called
I know.
out. But
I did get called out, and I sold my.
thank you, Bogey.
I sold my V8 and bought a 4-cylinder, so I'm all kinds of messed up.
Between the two of us, we've got 8 cylinders.
There it is. There
Teamwork
it is.
makes the dream work.
Right. See, and we're gonna ask Jess 4 questions, and we're gonna ask Deb 4 questions. So 4
Is that how
together
we're
makes
doing
8. Sure.
Okay.
So who wants to go first?
Definitely Jess.
Okay.
All right.
I was like
Trust
the pointing at in both directions there.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, so I'll ask you this one, Jess, to start with, because you've mentioned both. Would you rather have a Wrangler or a Bronco?
A Bronco.
Yes.
I wore the wrong Team Allegiance shirt.
See?
So I drive a Jeep now.
Right.
I know it's just a Compass,
Uh-huh.
but I think I would prefer the Bronco.
Okay.
I think I'm just more partial to it.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think I'm just more partial to the older ones.
Because just last week,
Oh,
though,
trust me, I'd take a new one in a heartbeat. I want the one with the hole in the door.
Yeah.
I want all
just
the
last
goodies.
week, though, we made a plan to get matching Wranglers.
Uh-oh.
Could we get one of each?
Oh.
I need
Life
one
is
with a
taken.
392.
Okay, we'll get
Yeah, no
we'll
kidding.
get the matching Wranglers for our work
We're
cars.
going to need you guys to come to Goal Life.
204 West Duval.
Troup, Texas.
Need to
support our dream to have a Bronco.
It's no
and a
longer about the
Wrangler.
tea and the nutrition. We have cars to buy.
We have an adventure fund by the register.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually for gas right now.
That's why I've been running out.
Somebody was so
The
kind to leave us
adventure is-
$20. He felt bad for us.
The adventure is, where is Deb when she runs out?
That's right. That's right.
I think we should just do back and forth get answers from both of them on this one. So
Okay.
We've essentially got the answers here.
Yeah.
Deb thinks they're getting matching Jeeps.
But see, I don't actually want a Jeep. I was just going to roll with it. I would definitely.
She drives my Jeep. It's okay.
I do. I drive her Jeep because it has more gas than any of my
Right,
vehicles.
right.
But I would definitely have to go with a Mustang, regardless of what your other option would be. It would be the
Okay.
Mustang.
All right.
A close
Wrong horse.
A close second would be a Raptor. So either one of those.
Sticking with the Fords, though.
Yeah, they've been loyal to me.
Yeah.
I'll be loyal to
Loyal.
them.
I don't know
Ish.
about that blue van your parents had, though. That Ford.
Don't resurrect it.
Or the one that your brother and my brother fried.
Oh,
That Ford. That was a 3 o'clock in the morning incident there.
Oh,
Hey.
my goodness.
This isn't about them.
That's true.
That's right. We'll have to have them on to tell that story later. So.
All right. Knowing you as I do, I already know the answer to this one as well. More technology in vehicles or less technology?
Way less.
They're on my side.
I know.
Way
I know.
less.
I mean, it's
Like-
nice. Don't get me wrong. There's so much more into this new vehicle, but there's times it's like,
It's nice
just
knowing how many
simple.
miles until you run out.
You know
right?
what?
I think this
Okay.
is me identifying that I'm getting old.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think that's what it is because I used to keep up with technology and I thought it was great and interesting, and now I'm like, I could care less.
I actually don't know how to pair my phone with I have an F-150, a 2015 F-150, and I owned it about a year now. And sometimes I get in and like my playlist will just start playing from my phone. I'm like, that is really cool. How'd that happen? And then I get in and it won't play. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do about that.
She has paired with my Jeep, so if she's on the phone when she pulls up and it'll play on the speaker in here and I can hear her phone conversation.
That's awesome.
I don't do it. It does it to me. Whatever it does, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
but it's just not for me. It's not.
That's too funny. Too
Matt?
funny. All right. So,
Do we want to talk about check writing? Or the fact I still have CDs?
Oh, good joke there. So my new Jeep does not have a CD player, and I had a bunch of old CDs. I get in the Jeep and I take it out of the case and I go to put it up there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it doesn't have a CD player.
Had to
like,
stick
how are we-
George Strait back in the...
It's ridiculous.
it's terrible. It's terrible. Who asked for all this tech anyway?
Me, I did.
Yeah, I know. I know. You can keep it to yourself. Manual or automatic?
Depends on what you got under the hood.
It's definitely an automatic.
Definitely automatic for Deb.
I can, but I don't want to.
I mean, the 4-cylinder 4Runner was great because it was fun, but
Right.
I mean, that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on what you got.
Okay. All right.
All right. Favorite driving song? Or genre?
I know.
Or
You want to do it?
What if we say different things now? We're gonna look super dumb. It's one of two songs.
Country
Road, Take Me Home.
I can't tell you how many times
like-
we've gotten in the car and Deb over there, she'll crank it up and be like, Country Road.
Love it.
Not that y'all will ever hear that. But
I'm sure I have it recorded
it's the
somewhere.
remix though. It's with
Oh, yeah.
it's the one where like all the country
Oh,
singers
yeah.
sing it.
Yeah.
There's a name for it, but yeah, that's
can't
it.
think of it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Love it.
I can run out of gas listening to that song. It's not even a problem.
Not even a problem.
You just feel so good. It doesn't even matter.
Okay. All right. So this is a good one. Do you name your cars?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Starting.
What's the name of your current vehicle?
I currently named all our vehicles.
Oh.
So Deb's is Fancy the Ford, like
Okay.
Reba McEntire's Fancy.
Fancy.
here's
Okay.
your one chance, Fancy.
Yes.
Don't let me
Yeah.
down.
Except
Oh,
she kind of let me down. I should have sang it to her right before I hit that deer.
And then we have Jolene the Jeep out there.
Nice.
I'm sensing a
Dolly
theme.
Parton.
Dolly
Anybody?
Parton.
Uh huh. Yeah.
And of course we have a friend. She has a Kia, so we named it Katie the Kia.
Katie the Kia.
Trisha Yearwood.
Trisha Yearwood.
There you go. There you go.
So where
So
did Charlie come from?
Because when I was little, I wanted my name to be Charlie. And so when I got a Mustang, it was a horse. And so Charlie Horse, and it made sense in my head at the time. But now that I'm saying that out loud, that's real dumb.
I like it. I like
I
it.
never got the Charlie horse until just this moment. Nice.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I like that.
All right, my turn. I was going to let you ask it, but you took too long, so now I'm asking it.
Go for it.
Favorite road trip snack?
I've been preparing for this question for weeks now, and that is a salted caramel Rice Krispie treat from Buc-ee's with a side of jalapeno Cheetos.
Every time we stop it.
Going and coming.
But you know what's even funny?
Answer.
She gets in the car to eat it, and it's been there for a while, and it's a little hard on the bottom, and she's disappointed.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so run through that name again.
It's a salted caramel Rice Krispie treat. And then you get a little bag of jalapeno Cheetos. I don't even like Cheetos.
Right.
But somebody
It doesn't
opened.
even sound like it goes together.
Oh, it
they
doesn't
don't.
at all. You eat the Rice Krispie and you wash it down with the Cheetos. You don't eat them together. But man, it's a good combo on the inside.
Oh, my.
I did find out the hard way things that don't go together well on the inside. Mountain Dew and the candied dots.
Oh.
Some kind of chemical reaction happens inside.
I feel like that's what you would like drop the dots into the Mountain Dew, like the Mentos into the Coke.
Yeah,
You know, I
Mentos
feel
into
like
the
that's
Coke,
what that would be.
Yeah. But learned that one the hard way.
That's rough. What's yours, Jess? Favorite road trip snack? It can't be the salted caramel thing.
It's not. I can tell you, it's not.
Okay,
She
I
likes
do
the-
have a go-to,
Okay.
and it's always the Lay's lime and chips.
Oh, okay. All right.
I
She-
have made myself sick on them.
The
Yeah.
post limon.
She likes them with
Yeah.
a side of a brisket sandwich
Oh.
Yes,
from Buc-ee's.
The Buc-ee's
Okay.
Buc-ee's
brisket
brisket
sandwich
sandwich, yes.
is pretty darn good.
All right. So Buc-ee's is involved. If there's snacks
Yeah.
involved, Buc-ee's is involved.
If there's a trip to Dallas,
No,
there's
if
Buc-ee's
there's
involved.
a trip involved, there's Buc-ee's involved. Yes.
Even if it's 300 miles out of the way?
Oh,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter. Have you seen their bathrooms?
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Brisket for the brisket. Sponsored by Buc-ee's.
I was just about to say not sponsored, but no, whatever. We'll take your money.
For those of you
Unfortunate
wonderful
enough not to
listeners
be.
who are, unfortunately not anywhere close to Texas, if you get the opportunity to come
They
to
have
Texas.
them in Florida and Alabama now.
Florida and Alabama? Okay. Well, if you have the chance to get to a Buc-ee's, go to a Buc-ee's. It is a life-changing, almost spiritual event.
Have y'all looked up how much Buc-ee's brings in a day?
Oh,
Well, they post their starting wages for all their
Well,
positions.
that's
Yeah.
like money brought
Yeah.
in.
no, I haven't.
In one day, it's over. Well,
Like each store?
it's over 2 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of them
Holy
combined.
smokes.
Why didn't we open a Buc-ee's?
Franchising.
Well, I mean, it's the last time I checked. I mean, I'm not real sure, but I think it's close to that. I think. Yeah,
All right.
we should open a Buc-ee's. Deb, gosh, what
We
were
could
you
have the
thinking?
Beaver Mobile.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And it could be powered
Those are-
by beaver nuggets.
We're only 5 in. So
Oh,
we
we're
got
only
three-
5 in.
We got 3
Okay.
more questions.
3 more. Okay, so I need to find another one. Okay. Okay, this is a good one.
I'm glad somebody's paying attention to how many we got going on here.
Yeah.
The 8 questions.
I just show up. You're the one that keeps us on track here, okay? All right. I think, Deb, we already have heard yours, but favorite car?
No, you heard mine.
Oh, you heard your, okay.
I think we both kind of hit on that a little bit. Mine is the Mustang.
The Mustang,
Yes.
right? And yours was?
It was favorite old car. Well, I don't even remember what you asked me before. I'm just gonna go with the Bronco.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
The
it
new
was-
one or,
it was
or a classic one?
the old one? Okay. all
Classic
right.
Bronco. All
Yeah.
right.
You know why I
I'm
choose the
definitely
older
going
ones?
with the new
They're a
one.
lot
Yeah.
easier to work on.
And
so
less technology.
Growing up, I changed my own oil. I changed everything myself. I've even taken. I had a Nissan Maxima. I had to take a whole manifold off. I had to replace all kinds of stuff, and I had a weekend to do it. And I did it with Dora the Explorer stickers. Make sure I put everything back where it's supposed to be.
That's my friend, y'all.
You will not catch me doing that today. I will take it and let
That's
somebody else
awesome.
do it.
I love it. I love it.
I had
Alright.
a car that was like
Fantastic.
Cadillac payments worth of parts every month. So I was like, gosh, it's one of them things.
Next question. Favorite car movie?
Don't you do it.
Uh-oh.
I know what Deb's is.
What is mine?
Gone in 60 seconds.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Why is that your favorite car movie?
Because there's Eleanor.
Okay, all right.
I had an elephant when I was little named Eleanor when that
Yeah.
movie came out.
Yeah.
Although now that I think about it, I was a little older. Eleanor.
I'm pretty fond of the same movie.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with
It's
it.
a good movie.
Yeah.
The acting in it, though, having watched it like within the past 2 or 3 months, so cringeworthy.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Eleanor did an amazing job in this movie.
When she choked and
Right.
wouldn't start for him as he
Yeah.
was running away from the cops, yes.
That was an incredible,
That's exactly how Fords do.
incredible job.
I have like
acting.
one favorite part.
I don't think that was
of
your question.
movie. My favorite part of the movie is when he is actually pulling the car out of the garage. The sound, it's like,
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like when you walk into through the gates of heaven. That's the sound it makes.
That's when the gates open.
Yeah, when
it's that-
if you descend, to that other place, that screeching noise.
It didn't work.
Right before you slam into something you should not be hitting. That's what happens. That's
That
the one. You don't want to hear that as you're
Right,
passing
yeah.
over.
Still-
You
I had
went
to-
to the wrong place.
And with that, I will plug our Patreon right now. Go over to patreon.com/GT Garage Talk, where you will hear 2 bonus questions
Dun,
from,
dun, dun.
from the lovely ladies here at Go Life Tea that we are going to go in just a little further in depth
Yeah.
with this whole random misfire thing. And maybe 2, maybe 4 more questions. We'll see what happens.
Maybe
But,
17.
yeah. Just a little bonus round, but like I said, patreon.com/GT Garage Talk, and I believe it's the 1LT Camaro tier.
Yeah.
I don't know. The $5 a month tier gets you access to a little bonus content after the show. So we thank you all very much for coming on and sharing your misadventures, if you will, with us. But before we say goodbye for this evening, other than your physical location in Troup, Texas, where can people find you?
Instagram and Facebook at Goal Life Nutrition.
All right.
Simple as that.
Yeah, simple as that. And if we're talking about finding people on social media, you can find us at gtgaragetalk.com. There you will find all the latest car news and things we're into. You'll find links to our YouTube, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All those handles are at GT Garage Talk if you need it. And we try and keep you as well up to date on all things automotive as we can.
All kinds of good stuff coming out all the time.
All the time. Matt's still trying to twist my arm for the 2nd annual.
Right.
I can't even, it doesn't flow out of my mouth just yet, but the 2nd annual Garage Talk Unlikely Heroes car show.
We're going to do it again.
I'm warming up to it. I've slept enough since
Right.
the first one. But yeah, you can find out all that we are into by heading on over to gtgaragetalk.com. But until next time, bye.